Have you ever felt small and weak, like nothing you do matters? This little tree thought so too, until one special day. Once upon a time, in the deep forest, there stood a little tree. It was much smaller than the other big trees around it. Every day, it watched the tall trees stand proudly. Their branches touched the sky. The little tree was thinking,
I'm so tiny, I'll never be as strong or as important as those big trees.
but sometimes, the smallest things hold the greatest power, if only they knew it. One day, the sky grew dark, and the wind began to howl. It was not just an ordinary wind, it was a storm. The big trees swayed harder and harder as the storm raged on. Their mighty branches began to snap one by one. The little tree trembled. It was so scared.
I'm going to be blown away.
It cried, but something surprising happened. The wind rushed past the little tree, but it didn't break. The little tree bent low to the ground. It bent and bent, but didn't snap. It was flexible. It survived the storm when the stronger trees fell. The next morning, the forest was silent. The little tree looked around. Some of the biggest trees had been knocked over. Broken branches lay everywhere. Birds and animals peeked out from the bushes, confused and sad. Why didn't the little tree fall like the others? There was a reason it survived, and it's a lesson we all need to learn. An old wise owl flew down to the little tree. The owl said,
Little tree, do you see what happened? The storm took down the tall and proud trees, but you stayed standing. Do you know why?
The little tree shook its leaves.
No, I don't understand. I'm so small and weak.
The owl smiled.
You survived because you are humble and flexible. The big trees stood stiff and proud. They fought against the storm. But you bent with the wind. Sometimes, strength is not about being the tallest or the toughest. It's about knowing when to bend and when to stand tall.
The little tree thought about the owl's words. It stood a little straighter, feeling stronger inside.
Maybe I am small, but I'm not weak. I have a strength that the others didn't see.
And from that day on, the little tree stood with pride, not because it was tall, but because it knew its hidden strength.